So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this lecture, the Oracle Database Administration. So today we are going to start about the new topics. But before that, let's go to the curriculum. Till where we have completed till archive log mode. Okay, we have completed till archive log mode. So I believe like everyone are good at Linux installation, Oracle software installation, database creation, SQL basics, Oracle networking, TNS, listener, and everything in archive log mode, right? So today we are going to start about the P file, SP file. But before that, we have some little bit of theory to talk about. In order to understand the parameters, we need to talk about the theory. By which I have given you this document to write into your running notes or the fair notes, whatever the note that you guys are preparing. So I believe everyone has made this fair enough in your notebooks that you're maintaining. I believe so. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Great. As I said, from today onwards, we'll slowly increase the pace in the sense not too much, but yeah, little bit, because we are, it's been 2 weeks that we have started, but 1 week I'll leave it for installation purpose and everything. So we have 7 sessions completed till now. So what I request you people to do is the classes will be for, we'll slowly extend the classes, meaning not for 1.5 hours. We'll try. It's not all of a sudden we will complete in one session. No, that will not happen. But what I'll do is slowly increase the pace. I'll try to. I know that I will not, because at the end you people have to understand what I'm talking. So it's my responsibility. I'll take my responsibility to make sure that you people are understand the concepts, right? So let's get into the topic for the day without wasting any time. Okay. So I've given this. Excuse me, memory structures of instance, right? So first I would like to explain what is instance. What is an instance? Okay, what is an instance in Oracle? Instance is nothing but combination of SGA. What is SGA? You people don't have to worry. Note this point. Okay, you people don't have to worry about the definitions, or you people don't have to worry about what is there inside this, or you people don't have to worry what this background processor is doing. Everything we will talk in architecture, Oracle architecture, which is very, very important. You people don't worry about the definitions. You people have to worry in just wanted to understand. Before we go in depth, you people have to understand the outline, the structure, I mean to say, right? So just understand the structure, and you don't worry about what is this, what is that, and everything will be covered in the architecture. Okay, but first we need to understand what is an instance. Okay, instance means SGA plus this background processors. Whatever the background processors are there, these are the background processors, right? These are the background processors, right? Instance means, I repeat again, what is an instance? Instance is a combination of SGA plus background processes. What are how many background processors there? All the background processors, including that, plus SGA is called instance. Then what is SGA? Now I'll slowly go into SGA now. What is SGA? System Global Area. SGA is System Global Area. What SGA will contain? SGA is a combination of shared pool, database buffer cache, redo log buffer cache. I repeat, SGA is a combination of shared pool, database buffer cache, and redo log buffer cache. Then what is shared pool? Shared pool, the name itself, shared library cache and data dictionary cache. Okay, library cache and data dictionary cache. The combination of library cache and data dictionary cache is called shared pool. Then what is the combination of shared pool plus database buffer cache plus redo log buffer cache? The combination is called SGA. Then what is instance? Instance means SGA plus all these background processors. Till here, everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, clear.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we'll
Yeah.
talk about the background
Sure.
processor. One by one, we'll talk about one by one background processor. First processor is PMON, process monitor. PMON means process monitor. Okay. Next processor is SMON, system monitor. Next is RECO, recovery. Okay, and MMAN, memory manager, memory manager. MMON, memory monitor, memory monitor. CKPT, checkpoint. DBWR, database writer. LGWR, log writer. ARCH, archiver. These are all background processors. I repeat: PMON, process monitor; SMON, system monitor; RECO, recovery; and MMAN, memory manager; MMON, memory monitor; CKPT, checkpoint; DBWR, database writer; DB writer; LGWR, log writer; ARCH, archiver. These are all the background processors. So this SGA plus background processors is called instance. Till here, everyone clear?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now we will go into what is the job of PMON, what is the job of SMON, what is the job of RECO, what is the job of MMAN, and everything. Slowly, one by one. First, you understand the names. That's it. You just understand the names. SGA means System Global Area, which is a combination of library cache, data dictionary cache, database buffer cache, read log buffer cache. This library cache and data dictionary cache is nothing but shared pool. Library cache and data dictionary cache is nothing but shared pool. DBBC means database buffer cache. RLBC means read log buffer cache. This combination is called SGA. Fine. Next, background processor. PMON. What it will do? It is like a process monitor, which is like a father of a family. Okay. In interviews, if somebody is asking what is PMON, don't tell father of family. If interview somebody is asking SMON, don't tell mother of family. Okay. Just for your understanding. Okay. PMON is like a father of a family, meaning, it will monitor the process. I mean, how good are you in your behavior? Are you deviating in your behavior? Are you good or bad or something? The father will monitor, right? They simply don't leave it like that. Just like, so it actually monitors that kind of role it play in the database. It monitors all the process related to the database. Okay. Everything is going good, smooth, everything or not. Next, SMON is like system monitor. System monitor. It's like mother of a family. I'm relating to the mother of a family. The reason being, like, don't in interview, again I tell you, do interview, when I say what is SMON, don't say mother of a family. Okay. This is just for your understanding. Okay. SMON is like a mother of a family. When you feel hungry, obviously you'll go and ask your mom to feed some food, right? So obviously your mom will, feed some food for you, and you're hungry, will go for a toss. That's it. So in the same way, whenever database is in hungry, or whenever database is in need of some data recovery, or is, I'll tell you what in detail in future classes, I'll tell you. Okay. Whenever there is a need, SMON will come into the picture. SMON will come into the picture. Now, what is RECO? RECO is like, guardian, just like a guardian of a family, just like uncle of a family. When PMON and SMON are fighting with each other, like, PMON is like father of a family. I told you, father and mother are fighting with each other. Okay, means in real time, that's okay. In real time language, in database language, for any resolving any distributed transactions. If there is any distributed transactions, this guardian, like uncle of a family, who is recovery, will come and recover the things. I mean, it will settle the things. Okay. So next, MMAN, memory manager. The name itself is there. MMAN, memory manager. Okay. From 10G onwards, it is introduced. From 10G, 11G, 12G, from 10G onwards, it is introduced. Memory manager. Listen very carefully. I want to give you more detailed information on memory manager. which will help you people a lot. Okay, listen very carefully. Okay, at the time of database creation, we have given something called db underscore cache underscore size. They have given something called shared underscore pool underscore size. They have given something called log underscore buffer. Everyone understood what I'm talking?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
You people have given these parameters, right, at the time of database creation.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we have given db cache size is equal to 150 MB. We have given shared underscore pool underscore size is equal to 120 MB. We have given log underscore buffer is equal to 2000, 20,000 or 200 MB. What are these parameters meaning? What is the meaning of these parameters? The meaning of these parameters is nothing but you are defining how much size should be the shared pool. You are defining how much size should be the database buffer cache. You are defining how much size should be the read log buffer cache. At the time of database creation only, you in the sense a DBA is telling how much size should be the shared pool. Shared pool size is equal to 120 MB, means shared pool size is 120 MB. You are mentioning the parameter. You are mentioning the size with the help of parameter. Shared pool size is equal to 120 MB. Okay. Next, DB cache size. DB cache size means database buffer cache size is equal to 150 MB. DBA is giving DB cache size means database buffer cache is equal to 150 MB. Shared pool is equal to 120 MB. DB cache size is equal to 150 MB. Next, log underscore buffer is equal to 20,000 means read log buffer cache, which means 200 MB. So who is giving these parameters? DBA is only giving the parameters. How much should be the shared pool size? How much should be the database buffer cache size? How much should be the read log buffer cache size? Everyone understood? What are those parameters?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now why I am talking about MMan, memory manager? Actually, at the time of database creation, you are giving individual parameters, meaning you are giving shared pool separate parameter, shared underscore pool underscore size. You are giving DB cache size means database buffer cache separate parameter 150 MB. You are giving log buffer means read log buffer cache size 20,000 means 200 MB. You are giving separate parameters. But from 10G onwards, you don't have to give separate parameters is what MMan is talking. MMan is telling, hey DBAs, from 10G onwards, you don't have to give separate parameter for shared pool. You don't have to give separate parameter for database buffer cache. You don't have to give separate parameter for log buffer for read log buffer cache. Instead of giving 3 separate parameters, replace all these 3 parameters with one single parameter called SGA underscore target. SGA underscore target is equal to 300 MB, for example. If you are not giving 3 different parameters here, you are not giving 3 different parameters. So you're giving SGA underscore target is equal to 300 MB, for example. So what MMan will do? Then MMan will come into picture. What MMan will do is, this is nothing but automatic memory management. Can everyone repeat with me? Automatic memory management. We are automating the process. Instead of giving this parameter individually, you replace all the 3 parameters with one single parameter called SGA underscore target is equal to some size, let's say 300 MB. So we are automating the process. So MMan will come into the picture now. What MMan will do? It is effective if we implement automatic memory management. Okay, what MMan will do is automatic memory management, memory manager. Instead of giving these 3 different parameters, you replace all the 3 parameters with one single parameter called SGA underscore target. So MMan, memory manager, will come into picture, and it will give out of 300 MB, it will give some size space or some size to shared pool. It will only allocate some size to database buffer cache. It will only allocate some size to read-log buffer cache. Whenever read-log buffer cache is in need of some space, and shared pool is not using that much of space. So what it will do? It will balance. It will balance the 300 MB according to the requirement. That is the background processor of MMAN, memory manager. Everyone understood? I think I'm so clear. I'm so clear what I'm talking.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, only 6 people understood. What about remaining people?
Yes, bro.
Yes.
Yes, Anna.
Is it making sense? I mean, I'm not doing time pass here, but I'm asking you like just a question whether you people understood or not.
Yes, bro. बोलते हुए आ गई आवाज.
Okay, fine. Right. So next comes. So what is next? Okay, people who are actually not listening to the class. Anyways, from today onwards, I'm not giving recordings. Okay, I'm not giving recordings from today. If you are people joining the class and listening to the lecture, listening to the class, that's okay. Fine. You will get the knowledge. If you're not listening to the lecture, you will not get the knowledge. Very simple. I'm going to give the recordings. There is no rule that, I have to give recordings. There is no agreement with you people that I have to give you the recordings. I'm giving you the recordings just for your benefit. Because if you are, in need, or if you forget something, you can recap with the help of recording. So I'm not going to give recordings. Okay, please listen to the class. Okay, and make sure that you're not doing time pass. Okay, fine. So that's about memory manager. That's about memory manager. Next comes memory monitor. What is memory monitor? It is like a CC camera. It is like a CC camera. Okay, it's very simple. What is the job of memory monitor is, for every 1 hour, listen carefully, for every 1 hour, it will take one snapshot. It will take one photograph. Snapshot is nothing but photograph in our local language. We also call it as snaps. Please take a snap, something like that. Okay. So for every 1 hour, this background processor will take a snap of the entire database, complete database. It will take one picture. It will take one snap and store in some location, some place. I'll tell you later which place. Okay. So why this, for every 1 hour, why this memory monitor is taking a snapshot of the database, a photograph of a database? Why? Because, for example, a client means who are the users who are from the application who are connecting to the database. They are clients. They're one of the client complained, stating that, hey, yesterday night I see lot of slowness in the database. The database is performing very poor yesterday night. Now you will ask as a DBA, okay, so from what time the database is very slow? Can you please tell me? They'll tell you, okay, from 11 o'clock onwards, from yesterday night 11 o'clock onwards till morning 6 o'clock. Yesterday night 11 o'clock till morning 6 o'clock, I see a lot of slowness in the database. Can you please check and tell me what happened? They are giving you the timelines. Now what DBA will do, this memory monitor is there. Every 1 hour it has taken one snapshot, right? So with the help of that photographs, with the help of the snapshot, we can generate a report to see what happened yesterday night 10 o'clock till morning 6 o'clock. Yesterday night 10 o'clock, there will be one snapshot that is taken by M1. 11 o'clock it will take a snapshot, 12 o'clock it will take a snapshot, 1 o'clock it will take a snapshot, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for every 1 hour it is taking a snapshot. So you will choose starting snapshot as 10 o'clock, ending snapshot as 6 o'clock, and you will generate one report. So that report will give you what happened in the database in between yesterday night 10 o'clock to morning 6 o'clock. So to generate these kind of reports, those reports are called AWR, Automatic Workload Repository Reports. So to generate these kind of reports and to satisfy our clients to say what's happening in the database, this M1 will take snapshot for every 1 hour and it will store that snapshots in one place. That is the job of M1. Everyone understood about M1?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next comes log writer. What is the job of log writer? Log writer job is nothing but It is like a cut paste. Cut paste. It's very simple. You people know the log writer job now. What is the job of a log writer? All I told you, all the live transactions are coming into the redo-log buffer cache. All the live transactions are coming into the redo-log buffer cache. From the redo-log buffer cache, what log writer is doing? Log writer is writing that live transactions into redo-log files. Simple. We have two redo-log files. Okay. Redo 1a.log, redo 2a.log, right? So what is the job of a log writer? We have two redo log files, redo 1a.log, redo 2a.log. Log writer job is to cut all the data from redo log buffer cache and write into redo log files. Redo 1a and redo 2a. When it is writing into redo 1a, it will write into redo 1a. Once the redo 1a is completely full, it will switch to redo 2a and it will start writing into redo 2a. In the meantime, what archiver background processor will do? Archiver will take the entire data and generate one archive so that this will be empty. Then when redo 2 is completely full, it will switch back to redo 1a. In the meantime, redo 2a data archive will take and generate one archive. And it will write into redo 1a now. When it is writing into redo 1a, once this is completely full, it will switch to redo 2a and start writing into redo 2a. In the meantime, archive will take the complete data and write into third archive number 3. In the same way, when this is completely full, it will switch and archive will take the data and write into archive number 4. Everyone understood the background processor of log writer and archiver?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Anna.
Yes.
Good. Next comes CKPT, checkpoint. CKPT is checkpoint. Checkpoint is nothing but you don't worry about, you just take the definition of, you don't worry about the explanation. I'll tell you the architecture. Checkpoint is nothing but it sets a milestone crossed by a database. Anyways, I'll give you the explanation also, don't worry. But not deep explanation, but that's okay. So I told you, log writer, it's writing from transaction number 1 to transaction number 100. So when it's switched, it starts writing from 101, transaction number 101 to transaction number 200, right? So here the checkpoint is 101. 101 is the checkpoint, means it changed, it switched from 100 to 101 and started writing into 101. So the checkpoint will be 101. So what CKPT will do, CKPT will take this checkpoint number and write somewhere. It writes somewhere. Next, after 101 to 200, it will become 201. It will become 201. Next, checkpoint will take this 201 and write somewhere. Next, 201 to 300. Next, it will become 301. From 301, it starts writing. Next, it will take 301 and write somewhere. Somewhere, I'll tell you where it is in future classes, but that is the job of checkpoint. Checkpoint has to take all these changes, checkpoint changes, and write into some file. Understood? Checkpoint also?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Great. Great. Next comes DB writer. No, DB writer. DB writer is nothing but copy paste. Okay. DB writer is like a copy paste. It's like copy paste. Okay. What is the job of a DB writer? The job of a DB writer is whatever the data there in the database buffer cache, it has to take this database buffer. It has to take the data and write into data files. It has to write into data files. There are a lot of data files, right? Systems, isocs, undo, temp, users, and everything, right? So DB writer job is to take the data from database buffer cache and write into data files. Which data it will write? Which data? Sir, you said live transactions are going here. Means this is also data, right? But which data it will write? That I'll explain you in architecture. Which data it will write. But to make you understand very simple, it will write the committed data. Committed. Once it is once user commits the data. If you people watch or if you people listen to my SQL basic sessions, you will understand. Whatever the committed data means final data. This is not the final data. This is the final data. The final data will be taken from database buffer cache and writes into the data files. That is the job of DB writer. Understand about DB writer, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, you people understood about memory manager. What is the job of memory manager? You don't have to write a separate parameter for shared pool size. You don't have to give separate parameter for a database buffer cache, which means DB underscore cache underscore size. You don't have to write separate parameter for read log buffer cache size. Instead of 3 parameters, you replace those 3 parameters with 1 parameter SGA underscore target. Then memory manager will come and manage the memory. Out of this 300 MB, it will allocate some memory to shared pool, some memory to database buffer cache, some memory to read log buffer cache. Okay, that's automatically it will allocate. And for example, if it is 100 and 100 and 100 and read log buffer cache, for example, database buffer cache 100 MB, shared pool 100 MB, library cache, read log buffer cache 100 MB. Database buffer cache 100 MB is not enough. Shared pool is not using 100 MB for the full. Read log buffer cache is also not using 100 MB for the full. So what it will do, it will compensate from here or it will compensate from here and it will increase the size of database buffer cache. Automatically, MMan will do. That is the job of memory manager. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Automatic memory management. From 10G onwards, it has introduced. So if you people want to try, whenever you are creating a database now, and if you people want to try, what you can do, instead of this parameter, instead of this parameter, instead of this parameter, instead of these 3 parameters, you replace with 1 single parameter. Okay, 1 second. I mean, if you people want to create a one more database now, and if you want to give a try, people can delete. Don't give this parameter. Don't give this parameter. These 3 parameters: shared pool size, database buffer cache size, log buffer, read log buffer cache size. Instead of these 3 parameters, replace these 3 parameters with 1 parameter SG underscore target is equal to 400 MB, like that. Okay. Earlier, how much we are giving? 150 plus 120 is 270. 270 plus 200. 270 plus 200. 270, 370, 470. We are giving around 470. So what you do, instead of these 3 parameters, you can give SGA underscore target is equal to some 400 MB. That's it. So what it will do is this 400 MB will be automatically, MMan will come and this 400 MB will be allocated something here, some here, some here. Wherever it needs some more memory, out of this 400 only, it will adjust. It will adjust accordingly. If you want to give a try, you can give a try by creating this. Instead of this 3 parameters, you can replace those 3 parameters with 1 single parameter, and you can create the database. Database will be created. Okay. So that is about memory. What is memory? Instance means SGA plus background processors. What is SGA? SGA is a combination of shared pool, database buffer cache, read log buffer. What is a shared pool? Shared pool is a combination of library cache and database. And you know what is PMON, SMON, Repo, MMan, MMON. Okay. Log writer, archiver, CKPT, DB. Everyone understood this session so that we can go to the next session?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Great. Thank you. So let's begin the next session. Okay. So yeah, so today we'll talk about P file and ST file. So all this, the syllabus, it's cut into the bits and pieces, and we are learning in a very easy manner so that you people have to understand what exactly is happening out here. So better you please concentrate on what's happening. Okay. Don't always depend on recordings. So from tomorrow you'll come to know about different 3 types of shutdown and startup modes. Means when we give a command called startup, what's happening? When we give shutdown, what's happening in the database? When we shut down the database, what's happened when we give startup? Then I told you database is a combination of CRD files, right? So we'll learn about D, data files in data file management. Next, we'll learn about R in redo log file management. Next, we'll learn about C in control file management. Then we will learn about user management. Syllabus is like, it's very, proven syllabus. So better, you people concentrate. You in Amirpet also, you don't get this kind of bits and pieces, make you people understand each and everything point to point, point to point, point to point like this. You will not get it, that's for sure. I can bet you on this. Okay, better you understand and take it as an advantage. Don't always depend on the recordings. Don't always depend on the recordings. When I'm teaching, please concentrate and listen. Then if you go through the recording once again, you will become perfect. Okay, don't always think like, okay, anyway, sir is giving recording, let's listen to the recording just for attendance sake, I join the session. No, don't think like that. First you listen to what I'm talking in the class, then you go through the recording, you'll become perfect. That's my word. Okay, so just for the last time I'm talking, okay, and people sit in a place where you people can talk to me, you people can interact to me, no background noise. Okay, great. So let's get into the details of SP file and everything. Okay, for that I need a database. I'll connect to the database and tell you both theory and practical at a time. Okay, so let's connect to the database now. First, to connect to the database, we need to connect to the server. We need to connect to the server as Oracle user, Oracle password. Okay, our database is ICICI database. Let's start up. See, I mean, anyways, the session is not today. The startup and shutdown is the next session. But just observe what happens when you give startup. Just observe. Look at the screen and observe what happens. Startup. There are three modes. There are three things happening. First, Oracle instance started. Instance started. Database mounted. Next, database opened. It will open the database. Database opened. These are the three things that is happening when I give startup. When I give a startup command, the database, in the database, what's happening? Instance is getting started first. First instance is getting started. Now you people know the definition of instance, right? Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Now you
Yes.
people know what is an instance. You people will know. Instance is nothing but SGA plus background processor. So what is SGA? Shared pool, library cache, shared pool, database buffer cache, and regular buffer cache, and plus background process. That is nothing but instance. First, that is getting started. Then database is getting mounted. Then database is getting opened. What happened? We'll look into it next classes. Don't worry, but just giving an information. When it say instance, now you people have to understand. You know about the definition of instance now, right? In the same way, when I give shutdown, what happens? I'll explain you in the next session. But before that, today we'll talk about P file and SP file. Okay, we'll talk about P file and SP file. See, guys, there are two type of files regards to the parameter. Oh, I'm talking only about the parameters. To store the parameters, if you want me to explain in a clear way, to store the parameters, there are two type of files are there to store the parameters. One is a P file and one is a SP file. Okay, one is a P file and one is a SP file. Okay, which file database is using? You have to know that. Which file database is using? Database is using P file or database is using SP file. How to know that? Show parameter SP file. The value is empty. The value is empty. The value is empty, which means it is not using SP file. Database is not using SP file. Database is using P file. The value is empty. If the SP file value is empty, it means database is using P file. Database is not using SP file. Okay. First, we'll we'll complete about P file. We'll talk about P file. Everyone knows where is the P file, where is the parameter file. Everyone knows where is the parameter file because you people have created the database with the help of parameter file only, writing all the parameters, db underscore name, compatible, db cache size, log buffer size, and everything. Now, where is the parameter file? Parameter file is in Oracle Home DBS. Yeah, Oracle Home DBS. What is the name of the parameter file? Init icici.oracle. This is the name of the parameter file. How did you write the parameters? How did you write the parameters? By opening this file, vi init icici.oracle. By opening this file, you have written the parameters: db name, compatible, the block size, cache size, shared pool size, log buffer size, control file, undo management. All these parameters you have written, and now by using these parameters only, by using this parameter file, by using these parameters, whatever the parameters are there inside this file, by using these parameters or by reading these parameters, instance is getting started. Means first step, it has to start the instance, right? What is instance? SGA. What is SGA? Shared pool, library cache, data dictionary cache, database buffer cache, log buffer, readback buffer cache. All this has to start. So to start, it will read this file. It will read the sizes inside the file. What size I have to set for shared pool? What size I have to set for database buffer cache? What size I have to set for read log buffer cache? It will read all these files. It will read all these parameters, and then it will start the instance. When I give startup. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, Vishnu.
Okay, great. Now I'll talk about parameters. Now I will talk about parameters. Very simple, guys. Now I'll talk about parameters. There are a lot of parameters. This is about P file. This is about P file. Now I'll talk about any one parameter. Let's take an example. I'll give you an example. Okay. Consider this as an example. Consider this as an example, and then we will discuss. Let's connect to database. I have connected to the database now. Show parameter shared pool. Shared underscore pool. What is the size that we have given for shared pool? Anyone can take the initiative and talk. What is the size that I have given for shared pool?
120 MB.
Okay,
120
120 MB. Right. 120 MB I have given for shared pool. Now, scenario, I'll give you a scenario. The scenario is database is not working properly. Just take it as a scenario. Don't go in depth and think all the unnecessary things. Just simple think directly. Database is not working properly. Now, as a DBA, I found that I have to increase the shared pool size. Shared pool size 120 MB is not sufficient. So if I increase the shared pool size, the database will perform very good. So I came to a solution. The solution is to increase the shared pool size. Then database will perform very good. That is the solution. Now, how to change a shared pool size? Can anyone tell me?
We can go to init
Init.
shader.aura and we can edit in there.
One second. Who is that talking?
Elevator.
Okay, good. Remaining all people sleeping, huh? Remaining all people sleeping. Are you people
No,
don't
sir.
understand? Are you people not able to understand the session? You can tell me directly if you people are not able to understand the session. Tell me directly. Guys, how to change a parameter? how to change a parameter from 120 to some other. I came to a solution that the database issue will be only fixed if I change the parameter or if I extend the parameter. If I increase the parameter, only the database issue will be fixed. I came to a solution now. How to change the parameter?
Change in init file.
Okay, I think
Init file.
We'll go to the init file.
It
I
file.
say.
okay.
We did the init.
Okay.
I see.
Okay, fine. I'll give chance to Shailaja only. Better she spoke right. Shailaja, you can talk.
Yeah.
I'll go with one by one. Okay, fine. Yeah. So go to the parameter file. Everyone is telling that go to the parameter file. Okay. Vi init. ICSI, and I have to change the parameter here. Shared pool size is equal to from 122. I will change it to 130. Go to insert mode and change it to 130. Save it. Now, is this parameter getting affected? Let's check. It's not getting affected. Why? Can anyone tell me? I changed it in the P file, right? You people only asked me to change the parameter in the P file. It's not getting affected.
We have not started the unmount.
Sorry, who is that?
Jennifer, sir.
Yeah, tell me what is your answer?
We have not given the command to start the unmounting thing again.
Okay, means yes. So database is already started with 120. Means database at the time of database when the database started, it read all the parameters where the parameter was 120, and it has started with parameter 120 only. Now, once the database is started, if you go and edit in the P file, it will not affect. When it will affect, you have to restart the database again.
Restart.
You have to shut down the database. And then again, start the database. This time, when it will start the instance reading the new parameter. Okay, now check. I have shut down and started the database, right? Now check. Now it is 130. Is it changed or not? Everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Change.
It's changed.
Everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
It's changed.
Now what I will do, this is about P file. Everyone understood about P file?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, bro.
Yes, sir.
What is a P file? P file means P file is a parameter file. It has all the database parameters. And if the database is listen to this sentence very carefully. If the database is using P file, and if you want to change any parameter, for any parameter, you have to compulsory restart the database. Then only it will get affected. If the database is using P file. Understood, everyone?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So that's about P file. So if we are using P file, and if you want to change the parameters, when the database is running, guys, database is running. Okay, database is running. All the application users are connected to the database. And application is running, and the users are actually looking at the data. Suddenly, you are, as a DBA from the back end, as a DBA, you are changing the parameter in the P file, but it's not getting affected. When it will get affected? Only when you restart the database. If you are using P file and you want to change the parameters, only when you restart the database, then only the new parameter will be affected. So if you are, so now I have a question to you people. Now this is a business time. Now all bank users, means I am also user, you are also user, everyone are a user. Everyone is a user. Now in this time, I am using my net banking application. And I'm clicking on login. I'm using my net banking application. This is a business hours. I'm clicking on login, and it is getting connected to the database now. Now my connection is getting connected to the American Express database now. For example, in this business hours, if I have to change a parameter in the P file, I need to restart the database. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
So now my question is this possible to change a parameter in the business hours?
No.
No.
Or is it possible to change the parameter in, or is it possible to restart? I am shutting. Is it possible to shut down the database when the business is running?
No.
No.
No, sir.
No.
It's not possible.
Then what is the solution? This is an interview question. Then what is the
Restart
solution?
later.
No.
After the
See,
after
I'll tell you in our local language. నీకు పెయిన్ ఇప్పుడు ఉంది, నీకు పెయిన్ ఇప్పుడు ఉందంటే రేపు పొద్దున్న పోయి పెయిన్ కిల్లర్ ఇంజెక్షన్ తీసుకుంటావా? See, you are getting pain right now. Tomorrow morning, if I go and ask, go to the doctor, take a painkiller, is it possible?
no, sir.
Then what is the solution?
We will shift to another location.
Nobody. Very simple. The solution is SP file. Okay.
You have to restart.
No. Wait. What restart? Restarting is not the solution I'm talking. Okay, that's what I'm telling. You are actually getting pain right now. Tomorrow morning or after 2 days, you go to the doctor and take a painkiller. Or right now only you'll go to the doctor.
Right now.
Okay. So the solution is right now we have to make sure that the parameter is getting instantly affected. Immediately it should affect. But we are using P file. If we are using P file, what happens? We have to restart only. 100%. There is no other option. We have to restart the database only if we are using P file. Then what is the solution is asking? The solution is SP file. Now I'll explain you about SP file. P file under everyone understood what is a P file and everything?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Krishan.
If you have to change any parameter in P file, again 100% you have to shut down and start the database. Then only next bounce అయినప్పుడు next startup లో అది it will take that new parameter and it will affect. అదే SP file అయితే కొంచెం situation వేరే ఉంటుంది. What is SP file? I'll explain you now. If you people understood about P file. అర్థమైనా అందరికి? If you people understood about P file.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yes, sir. Now I'll explain about P file. Now how to create a P file first? Simple. Create SP file from P file. Simple. The command is create SP file from P file. That's it. Now where the SP file will be created? SP file will also be created in the same location where P file is created. SP file is created in the same location where P file is created. So let's go to that location. Oracle Home DBS. You see SP file is created now. 1523, 323. SP file is created. This is SP file. I'll show you how SP file looks like. This is how SP file looks like. Okay, with all these parameters and all. Okay. This is how SP file is looking like. Now let's connect to the database. Shut down the database and start up. Let's shut down and start up the database now. Start up. Okay. Before I start up, guys, everyone has to answer. How many files we have to maintain the parameters? How many files we have which are maintaining the parameters?
2 files.
What are they?
2 files.
P file and
Types
SP
is
file.
P file and SP file. Now we have 2 files, P file and SP file. Now when I start up, which file it will read? It will read P file or it will read SP file?
P file.
So very good, nice. I'm giving startup. You will only see what happens. Show parameter SP file. See, it is using SP file. Earlier it was blank. The value was blank. Now it is using SP file. So what did we understand? When we have two files, P file and SP file, database will read only SP file. It will not read P file. It will only read SP file, and it will read all the parameters in the SP file, and then it will start the database with SP file only. Understand, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
teacher.
sir.
You have P file, you have SP file. Database will only read SP file. Now, another scenario. You don't have P file. You only have SP file. Then database will read SP file only. You don't have SP file. If you don't have SP file, then it will read P file. Then only it will read P file. If you don't have SP file, then only database will look for P file. First, it will look for SP file only. If SP file is not there, then it will look for P file and start the database with P file parameters. But if we have P file and SP file, it will not look for P file. It will directly read the parameters of SP file, and it will open the database with SP file only. Now database, now you people tell me, you people confirm me and tell me, database is using which file? P file or SP file?
SP
SP
file.
SP file.
SP file.
Means database is reading all the parameters from SP file only. Yes or no?
Yes.
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 Now, now show parameter. Okay. Now we'll go to the same scenario again. Database is having some issue. Database is having some issue. Okay. Now I have to change this to 120. From 130, I have to change to 120. From 130, I have to change to 120. Then the issue will be fixed. Then the issue will be solved. Now, how to change the parameter? Tell me.
Init.
SP file.
Nobody wants to take the initiative, or nobody is interested to talk, or nobody want to give a try. How to change the parameter?
Open parameter file and
We
edit
should
it.
know.
Okay, open parameter file, right?
No SP file.
No, sir.
SP file. We should open SP file and we should edit in it.
Yes, correct. Database is using SP file, man. Database is not using P file. Why we will touch P file? Why we will touch P file? When database is using SP file, why we will touch P file? If you change in P file, will that parameter gets affected?
No.
Simple logic, data. I told you it's very clear. Database is using SP file only. When the database is using SP file, it is reading the parameters from SP file. So which file it is reading, you have to change in that file. Why we will change in other file? Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Now what we have to do? Can someone take the initiative and tell me? I want to change this parameter of shared pool size from 130 to 120. I want to change where I have to go and where I have to change.
We should open the SP file and we should change
Okay. Who is the one?
shared.
Go to Oracle Home and open SP file ICICI.org.
Okay. Good. Oracle Home DBS. Okay. I have to. You people are telling I have to open this file.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
to
Okay. I have opened this file. Now what I have to do, sir? Or ma'am?
edit the parameter.
From
Edit.
param.
Edit the parameter. Okay. Shared pool.
Shared pool file.
Right. I have to change this to
120.
120. Go to insert mode and change this to 120.
120.
Right. Done. Now let's check
Shut
whether.
down.
Now let's check whether the parameter is changed or not. No, it is not changed. 130. It is still
We need to
130.
restart.
We need to restart.
We need to restart the system.
Okay, very good. Now I have a question. When
When
the-
the restart means same, right?
No, that's what. Wait. Now I have a
Difference.
question. Wait. Now I have a question. When we used P file, we restarted the database. When we used SP file, we are restarting the database. Then what is the difference, man? Why we are using SP file? Did you people get the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Anyways, like I'll shut down as per your instructions. I'm shutting down the database. I'm starting up the database, right? Okay. Now we'll look into the parameter. Now, what should be the parameter size?
120.
120.
120. So let's check. Hey, it's 132. Still it is not 120. Why? Any idea why? Whenever you have any issue, just go back, ma. Just go back to the steps that we did. మనం ఏం చేసామో ఒకసారి మీరే think in your mind. ఏం చేసాం? One చెప్పండి. It should be 120. So database is using SP file. SP file use చేస్తుందని చెప్పి మీరు ఏమన్నారు? You go to SP file, sir. SP file కి వెళ్ళి మీరు ఎడిట్ చేసి ఈ parameter ని ఎడిట్ చేసి you change this parameter to from 130 to 120, then it will be solved. And you people told yes or no?
Yes.
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 Everyone, go back to your steps. What we did.
Yes.
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 Now database is using which file? SP file or P file?
SP file.
SP file.
SP file. SP file.
Okay. See, database is not using
P
SP
file.
Shock paper. You people shocked? Why?
Yes, sir.
Because P file is a editable file. SP file is not a editable file. We should not edit and change the parameters in SP file. If you change the parameters in SP file by using edit option, if you open with VI editor and if you touch the SP file parameters, it will get corrupted. Understand, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone understood what happened now?
Yes,
So
yes.
SP file got corrupted. SP file got corrupted and database started using P file only. We have changed it with the help of VI editor, right? So
Yes.
when we change
Yes,
it,
sir.
when we edit the SP file and change the parameters, what happened? It got corrupted. So it's very clear. P file is a editable file. SP file is not a editable file. SP file is a binary format file. It's a binary file. Then how to change parameters in SP file? Well, next question, Rahul. Okay, if database is using, we should not edit the SP file. Then how to change the parameters in SP file? I'll show you. Understand what I'm talking?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So SP file got corrupted.
Yes,
Now
sir.
SP file got corrupted. Now we will recreate the SP file. How to recreate? Simple, same command. Create SP file from P file. Shut down. Start up. Now I have recreated the SP file. Now tell me, now database started with SP file or P file?
SP file.
Obviously SP file only, because I have recreated. Now it is using SP file again. But in SP file, the parameter is 132 only.
Yes.
Okay. Now database is using SP file. Now how to change the parameter? Tell me. You people told me that you have to go to SP file and edit the parameter. I have edited the parameter. SP file got corrupted. So we should not edit the parameters in SP file. Now we understood that. Whenever we edit the SP file, automatically the file will be getting corrupted. Then how to change the parameter in SP file?
P
Always.
file.
P file.
Edit in P file and create new.
No. If I'll tell you the answer, but for you, if I edit the P file and if I recreate the SP file, immediately effect avadu kada. Again we need to restart kada database. Understood?
Yes, sir.
That is not my agenda. My agenda is parameters should be affected without a restart. అందుకని in SP file వాడుతుంది. That is why I'm using SP file. Understand, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So how to do it? How to do it is alter system. Listen carefully. How to change the parameter is in SP file. Alter system set shared pool size is equal to 120M, scope is equal to both. See, did I restart the database, guys?
No.
No,
No.
sir.
No, sir.
Did I restart the database?
No.
No.
Did I edit the SP file and change the parameter?
No.
No.
No,
No.
sir.
But the parameter got affected. Understood, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is how you change
Yes,
a
sir.
parameter. This is how you change the parameters in the database. By using, whenever SP file is being used, you You have to change the parameter with the help of alter system set. Parameter is equal to new value. Scope is equal to both. You can ask me what is scope is equal to both. Scope is equal to both meaning it will change the parameter in SP file. It will also
P
change.
file.
P file.
Wait, let me explain you. Not in P file, ma. It will change the parameter in SP file. Okay, it will change the parameter in SP file, and it will also change the parameter. It will also change the parameter in memory. See, when I started the database, it started with 132. Means already shared pool is allocated 132. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So when I change the parameter without a database restart, it got affected. So it has changed in the SP file, and it also decreased the memory also automatically. In the memory also it updated from 132. Please decrease to 120. Understood what I'm talking?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
This is how you change the parameters.
Scope
Now-
is equal to both means.
Scope is equal to both means it will change the. Okay, wait. I'll explain you in better way. Who asked me that question? Scope is equal to both means.
Shailaja, sir.
Shailaja, okay, fine. See, Shailaja, when I give startup is not everything. What happens when I give startup? Database will start with shared pool 130 MB.
Yes.
Database buffer cache 150 MB. Read buffer cache 200 MB తోటి start అవుతుంది. Yes or no?
Yes.
అంటే ఆల్రెడీ స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయి షేడ్ పూల్ 130 తోటి రన్ అవుతుంది. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
షేడ్ పూల్ సైజ్ ఇప్పుడు 130 నుంచి 140 చేయాలి. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ 130 నుంచి 140 చేయాలి. అది కదా, దట్ ఈస్ వాట్ మై ఇంటెన్షన్. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Now database, I have to change the shared pool size from 130 to 140. Where should I change? I have to change in SP file. Yes or no?
Yes.
How to change a parameter in SP file without a database restart? I have to use alter system set shared pool size is equal to 140. Scope is equal to both.
Both. Yes.
అప్పుడు ఏమైందంటే SP file it will change the parameter in SP file. Also ఇది మెమరీ కదా, దీన్నే మెమరీ అంటాం కదా మనం. మెమరీ వి కాల్ ఇట్ యాస్ మెమరీ. మెమరీలో 130 తోటి ఆల్రెడీ స్టార్ట్ అయిపోయింది డేటాబేస్.
Yes.
మెమరీలో కూడా అప్డేట్ చేస్తుంది. 130 నుంచి 140కి అప్డేట్ చేసేస్తుంది ఆటోమేటిక్ గా. అర్థమైందా?
Okay, okay. Yes, sir. Yes.
That is what nothing but scope is equal to both. If you use scope is equal to SP file, it will only change in SP file. Understand?
Yes, sir.
For example, now I am now it is 120 kada. The latest it is 120 now. Now currently it is 120. Okay. Now I have to change this from 120 to 130 change chestunna. I'm changing it from 120 to 130. But I'm not using scope is equal to both. I'm using scope is equal to only SP file. I'm using only scope is equal to SP file. So the SP file lo maatrame change chesindi. It will not affect immediately. See, it will not affect immediately. 130 will not affect immediately.
Yes, sir.
Then you need to restart the database. If you are using scope is equal to both, immediately it will change in SP file. Immediately without a database restart, it will affect the memory also. Understand?
Okay.
Everyone understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Still there is okay. Still there is much more to learn. Okay. Now this is the difference between SP file and P file. Now we'll learn about static and dynamic parameters. Static and dynamic parameters. Now open the DB creation. Right. Now I want to make you understand the difference between static and dynamic. There are two type of parameters above. There are two type of parameters. What are they? Static, dynamic. Everyone listening to the session or sleeping?
Listening, sir.
Listening, sir.
Listening, sir.
Listening to share.
Okay, fine. So there are two type of parameters. Okay, there are two type of parameters. 1 second. Okay, I see a lot of people jump. I see some people, not a lot, but 3 people jump. Okay, fine. If I don't give recording, then what happens, guys? It became a habit for you people actually. Okay, no problem. Yeah, there are different 2 type of parameters. Static, dynamic, and database. Static parameters, dynamic parameters. You people only understand the difference. The meaning tells kada. We know the meaning of static, dynamic. What is static?
It's not very,
What?
I mean,
We cannot
change
change in
it.
static.
Exactly. The parameters which cannot be changed in the lifetime. Okay, sir, database create. Once database is created, you cannot change those parameters at any time. Those kind of parameters are called static parameters. Advaina?
Yes,
Everyone?
sir.
Sir,
Yes,
Everyone?
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, now
Yes, sir.
people who are not sleeping and people who are listening and people who are watching my session can tell me which parameters are static parameters out of all these, which are static parameters, which cannot be changed. Change once database is created, that's it. Those parameters cannot be changed. Can someone tell me example of static parameter?
DB name.
DB name, compatibility, and diagnostic.
Exactly. No, this can be
No, no.
changed.
Undo management.
This can be changed, and this can be changed. Undo management can be changed.
Control file.
This is dynamic only. We can change it to auto or manual. We can change it. Okay. See. Okay. Good. Nice answers. Okay. DB name is a static. Once I create the database with ICICI name, will I change the database name to SBI? Will I change the database name
No.
to
No,
some
sir.
other- No,
we
right?
cannot.
No.
So simple. Database name is static. Compatible. When I created the database in some version, I cannot change the version. It will not work. If I change the version, it will not work. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
this
sir.
is also static. This is also static. This is also static. DB block size is also static. Why static? I'll tell you in the later classes. This one, okay. But these two you people understood, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes.
So these are some kind of static parameters, okay, which cannot be changed once they are created. That's it. Now dynamic parameters. What is dynamic? You people tell me. What are dynamic?
We
I
can
mean,
change.
we can
change whenever you want.
we can change anytime you want. Anytime. When the database is running, you want to change the parameter. Yeah, you can change anytime you want. Those kind of parameters are dynamic parameters. They are dynamic in nature. Understand, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Everyone understood, right? Last point I'll tell you and I'll close this
Yes,
session.
sir.
Last point I'll tell and close the session. I know it's too high. Last point. Two type of parameters: static, dynamic. Static are the parameters or those which cannot be changed anytime in the lifetime of the database. Dynamic are those which can be changed anytime when the database is running, which we can change those parameters anytime. Those are dynamic. Till here, everyone clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
The last point is in dynamic also. Listen carefully. In dynamic also, there are 2 types. Parameters which will get affected instantly without a database restart. Parameters which will get affected instantly without a database restart. And there are some parameters which will get affected. They can be changed. They are dynamic only. We'll change the parameters in SP file, but they will affect. There are some parameters which will affect only after database restart. Understand? Dynamic.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
In dynamic also there are 2 types. Parameter, even if you use SP file also, there are some parameters which will affect immediately. You don't have to restart the database. But there are some parameters which will get affected only after database restart. They will change. The parameters can be changed, but they'll get affected only after database restart. Understand? Static and dynamic, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, guys, for your patience. Actually, you people have to tell me that. So what I'll do now, I'll give this document for you people. And thank you everyone for joining this lecture. And the Q&A will be started. I have 5 minutes of time. Any questions, any question and answers are acceptable. If you people have any questions, please feel free to ask me. I will answer all your questions. Any doubts, you people can ask me. Okay. So that's it for the day, guys. I'll give you those documents of static and dynamic parameters, the P file and SP file, difference between a P file and SP file. Okay, please read this. Please read all these things. Okay, if you people want to. If you people don't want to, that's okay. It's a document that is prepared, just to make you understand whatever the subject that I have explained you verbally, I have written in the document. That's it. So if you people want to read this, that's okay. If you people understood the class, that's okay. Other than that, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Other than that, thank you so much for joining this lecture and spending almost 2 hours on the session. Thank you. And question and answer session started, guys. Please start asking me questions if you have any. Thank you.